What's up, men? Welcome back to the Sacred Men YouTube channel. This is Pastor Justin Dean. And many of you know that I've been married to my wife for over 21 years. I've got 5 kids. I'm a pastor. I planted Sacred City Church and it's thriving. We're around 500 people. We've got more than one church. So we've planted another church across the river. I also own a business. I just do a little bit of construction on the side. And my oldest child, my son, he's 18 years old and graduated last year. And we are working through, kind of a plan for his life. Like, what does he want to do? What's God calling him to do? And how can his mother and father set him up for success in an economy and in a world that's much different than the one that I grew up in? Now, my generation and the one before me had a clear path to kind of success, right? You went to high school, you went to college, you got the career, you got married, you bought a house, you worked hard for 30, 40 years, and then you got a comfortable retirement, maybe even a pension, and you kind of rode off into the sunset. Well, that plan isn't working anymore. Things have changed. Our economy is different. We've had mass immigration and even illegal immigration taking huge sectors of the job. We've had inflation. We have obviously the price of homes. It's really priced a lot of guys out from being able to buy that first starter home. There's all kinds of things that have changed in our society. And now on top of that, we have what many are calling the AI apocalypse that's coming, that AI is going to get rid of the middle class and AI is going to take away all of these jobs, computer coding and all kind of these like middle manager jobs. And so Amanda and I, my wife and I, we've had to rethink the plan for our son and working with him as well. We thought he's just going to go to college right away and take that traditional path. But I sat down and had a conversation with him, and one of them was like, do you want to be a white collar worker or do you want to be a blue collar worker? And he said both. And I was like, crap. Because that's basically what I am. And when I was in college, I went to college for a couple years at first. I wrestled in college, and I was going to take that traditional path. And I realized I'm racking up the student debt. And I felt God calling me into ministry. And I knew a ministry job, I'm not going to be able to pay off my student loans and be able to raise a family. So I dropped out after my sophomore year. Then I started a construction company and started building homes, doing remodeling, and I learned a trade. And at the same time, I was pursuing basically like an internship at a church, and I started working at the church, and I started learning 2 trades, right? Being a builder, and I was learning how to be a pastor. And that kind of dual pathway served me well because the ministry doesn't really pay that much until you've got 10, 15 years in the ministry and you've really built something. And so what I could do was I could make money building homes. I had this trade over here, and then I could do it. I felt like what God was calling me to do, and that's this ministry over here. And as I planted Sacred City, I would have to do 1 or 2, medium-sized projects a year in order to pay for my kids to go to a private school, in order for us to go on vacation. I'd have to go out and remodel a kitchen or remodel a bathroom or do something like that. And it's served me really well. And I think this might be the best pathway for most people moving forward. I think we're going to have a resurgence in the trades. And so if you're a young man looking for something to do, man, you can make a lot of money in the trades. And the trades are not going away. Electrician, HVAC, carpentry, with inside of that, framing, trim carpentry, cabinet making, roofing. As the border has gotten closed and we've deported over 2 million illegal immigrants, and many, I think another million more have self-deported. Many of those people are working in the trades. And if you go to any job site in the Quad Cities here, and a year or so ago, it would have been all illegal immigrants, basically. All the roofers, many of the framing contractors. And so now there's this gaping hole where you can step in and fill if you are willing to work like they do, right? And that's the deal. Like, you get these illegal immigrants come over to your house to roof your house, and they're gonna be there at 7 a.m. or before that, and they're gonna work until that house is done that day, or at the most the next day. They're willing to put in that kind of work, and if you're willing to put in that kind of work, you're going to be able to make a lot of money, man. The trades are wide open for people. And as I planted the church, I still went back and got my education and got finished my bachelor's and then got my master's in theology. So there's hybrid models that I think are going to work well for a lot of people. But I came across this YouTube clip from the Sean Ryan show that is interviewing this guy named Rob Luna. I don't know much about him, but he's a prominent wealth and business strategist of over 25 years, and he's in wealth management. And he's speaking of this AI apocalypse. And I think he's got some good advice for us, because even in the trades aren't going to be replaced by AI, but they are going to be supplemented by AI. Maybe your sales process, your estimating process, maybe even ordering materials, things like that you're going to be able to use AI and kind of cut out 1 or 2 employees. And it's going to be able to, increase your productivity. And then I'm just talking about the trades. There's going to be, any man that knows how to be a leader and get the right group of people around him. I think he can succeed in this growing AI economy, and he can make enough money to support a family, to buy a house, to give to his church, and to create a legacy for his family and for his kids. So this year, we're really going to lean into this idea of being builders. Coming up next week, I'm going to have an interview on here, and we're going to at least do 1 interview per month of guys who are building things. I want to highlight them from my circle, from our church, to inspire you to do something similar or to learn some principles from them. Guys that they've learned how to build a business, they learned how to build a family, they learned how to build something, make some money. And so I hope it's inspiring to you. So let me just get into this reaction video today.
All right, this is probably the biggest topic that we're going to talk about today. Okay. Artificial intelligence in the business world, in the job place. What is going to happen? I mean, we talk a lot about middle class being wiped out. Yeah. AI is going to take a lot of jobs. AI is also going to be a force multiplier to type A players. I mean, what are we looking at? What are you seeing already?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not like what's going to happen. It's already happening, right? And it's not that AI is going to take most people's jobs. It's people that understand finance and strategy and scaling that are going to use AI to take the jobs from most people. So that's really what it is. It's not that this thing of AI. It's how are you utilizing AI or not utilizing AI? And if you're not.
Okay, so what he's saying there is, AI is not this thing that's coming after all of our jobs. It's going to be employers using AI to get rid of people that are replaceable, right? Middle managers, paper pushers, employees that show up just for a paycheck. And, you always have to get on top of them. Are you doing this? Or have you filed that paperwork? Have you done that thing? You're always after them. Well, that's kind of brainless, mindless work that, just like in the factories during industrialization, if you can replace that guy with a machine and you can get more out of it, as a business owner, you're going to do it. And we're talking about here the same thing, but with knowledge work. A lot of the times you can replace that number cruncher, that paper pusher, with a machine, with an algorithm or whatever, with AI. And so you're going to have these guys that are wanting to maximize their effectiveness, and they're going to get rid of guys that aren't there to work, that they're not people that add value to the organization. Okay.
It's how are you utilizing AI or not utilizing AI? And if you're not, you're going to be wiped out, right? It's kind of like the horse and buggy. You've got to upgrade, you've got to learn new skill sets, and you got to be able to do that. And the problem is, I think there's a lot of complacency that still doesn't believe in what's going to be happening with AI. And we've got this baby boomer generation where they don't even want to learn how to use an iPad.
Baby boomer. Baby boomers. Yes. The baby boomers.
How to put AI into their world. And the problem is, with society today is you have to be more innovative. You have to be more entrepreneurial. You know, I have entrepreneurs or people ask me, everyone asks me whether they want to start their own business or not. What is the skill set I need to learn? You have to learn to be an entrepreneur. Why? Because every entrepreneur, including you that I know, wants to hire entrepreneurial people, people that can come in, critically think, take a division, run it themselves, understand it themselves, work their ass off, do the things that they need to do, and do that. If you can do that using AI to leverage yourself to get the power of 10 people, you are going to be very, very successful. And so what everyone needs to start learning is how can they create, first of all, a valuable skill set.
Okay. First one, how to create a valuable skill set. This is figuring out a trade. It really is. Whether your trade is just leadership, you're just good at moving people, you're good at motivating people and getting them to move in a certain direction. Whether this is carpentry or accounting or, hauling stuff in your truck. I mean, what do you want to be good at? The trades are almost unlimited. There's certain things that people always need done. They always need their haircut, right? They always need their windows cleaned. They always need their carpet shampooed. They always need junk hauled to the dump. They always need trees cut down and trees trimmed. They always need their grass mowed. They always need their sidewalks shoveled and their driveways plowed. They always need an electrician to come in and fix that outlet. They always need their heater breaks. They need HVAC guy to come in and take care of that. They always need plumbers. They always need roofers. They always need, I could go on forever. And you don't have to pick something that like makes your heart sing, right? I'll tell you what makes my heart sing is seeing that paycheck hit my bank account. That's what makes my heart sing. So whether I don't care, I can whistle while I work and I can be cleaning somebody's toilet as long as I'm being paid for it and paid well for it. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, you've got to pick a trade, find your skill set that you're good at. If you're good at sales, just talking to people, being on video, and you can be a salesman, right? Find your skill set, and then you have to become a self-motivated person. You have to become a disciplined person, and you have to work your butt off. You have to outwork all of your competition, right? And he's like, this type of people they have always succeeded in life, and they're going to continue to succeed in life. And AI is actually going to make them more successful, more productive.
A valuable skill set. How can they connect with people, and how can they use AI to be able to multiply that? I use AI on a daily basis. My productivity personally versus what I was 12, 18 months has gone up significantly, right? And so when you talk about this just practically, most of the time what I do is spend time with businesses like yours. Everybody, Sean, is saying, okay, what do I need to do for my business to be able to win, succeed, pivot today? How do I build a business? And really it comes down to a couple things. It's first of all, you need a small team of all-stars, right? And I'm talking about billion-dollar businesses. When I say small team, to put that in perspective, like 8 to 10 people. To find 8 to 10 really good people right now, no matter if you're Apple or if you're Sean Ryan, it's very, very difficult to find those people. So you got to find those people and put them in a position to succeed.
Okay, so here's what he's talking about. When you're starting a business, it can be just you, right? If you're just in the trades, if it's, it could be you and a laborer, or it could be you and your best friend, or you and 3 other guys that they're all going to be putting in and getting after it. But people is what matters, right? People is that's your success. Your success is in what kind of people can you get around me? And this is in all the trades. This has always been the hardest part of growing a business and leading a successful business, is that the barrier of entry is low in the trades. You don't need a college degree. You don't need a high school degree. All you need to do is be able to do the job. Many contractors, what they want to do is they want to hire this crackhead off the street, and they could pay him $8 an hour and he can do it for them. Well, you can do that, and you're going to get piss poor work out of a guy like that. And tomorrow he might not show up because he's high or he's drunk or he's doing something else. So the first thing you need to think about is, who do I want to surround myself with? Who do I want to bring into this business? So get a team of, what he says, a team of all-stars around you, and then set the goal and let them run, right? That's our strategy at Sacred City. I say we want to go with our goers. We want to run with our runners. I want to get the best people around me and then say, here's what I want. This is your department. Take it and make it better and run with it. I want them to think like entrepreneurs.
Put them in a position to succeed. Then you need all-star processes that they're following, that are scalable.
Okay. Second one, processes. Processes or systems. Systems are what you build in your organization. So think of it, how do I get new clients, right? You need to create a system. Maybe it's marketing on Facebook. Maybe it's marketing on Instagram. Maybe it's putting an ad out in the newspaper. I don't know if they do that anymore. Maybe it's going door to door. Maybe it's meeting a bunch of people at church and passing out your business card. Maybe it's just word of mouth, but you create a system to get new clients. Then you create a system to estimate, right? You can't be working on a project and going around and giving estimates at the same time. So what's your system for doing that? Maybe you can implement AI to help you get clients. Maybe you can implement AI to help you estimate your job so you can spend more time hands-on, right? So he says, surround yourself with the best people you can get and then build rock star processes or systems to help keep getting those clients, to providing your service to those clients, estimating, billing, all these types of things.
Scalable. And then you need all-star technology to be able to develop and scale all that. And so what people are doing today is building flat organizations with really high quality people, high quality processes, and high quality technology. And so the middle management is getting cut out. The average 9-to-5er is getting cut out. Somebody who just shows up and dots the I and cross the T is getting cut out. And those people are becoming unemployed, and businesses are becoming better. They're faster. They're leaner. They're more profitable. And at the end of the day, as a capitalist, when I invest in a business, this isn't a socialistic endeavor. It's I want to invest in businesses that are good. They're solving a problem faster, better, cheaper, and they're doing it more efficiently, and that flows to the bottom line. And that's exactly what AI is doing. And so you figure out like, well, how is that killing the middle class? Well, the middle class is not ready to adapt to that. And the biggest problem I have with that and why I worry about this country and all the debt is, when you think about pensions, for example, what my grandfather had, maybe our parents had, working for General Electric or all these companies, Boeing, pensions are gone. There's no more pensions anymore. So when you retire, if you didn't put money away for yourself, if you don't have a skill set to maybe have to work longer, because with AI, people are actually living longer now, people are going to be in a lot of trouble. And so the debt that we have, the savings that people don't have, the lack of financial literacy, and if people are not understanding that AI is here, it's not going to happen, it's happening. I'm consulting, my firm's consulting every single day. And one of the first things we look at is, what are you guys doing? Who are doing that? Who's doing that? And we're getting rid of people. Right? I'm just being honest, Sean. We're getting rid of people that don't serve a purpose anymore. And the people that serve a purpose have high specialization. They understand that it's not going to be a 9-to-5 anymore. They have to be critical thinkers. They have to pivot and adapt. They have to use technology to leverage what they're doing. They have to demand more. They have to have that entrepreneurial mindset to understand and know that this person is hiring me because they want to make more money. How do I become more efficient, more specialized, and become an asset, not a liability to the company? If you're a liability, AI is going to wipe you out.
Dang. Okay. I think he's right. It makes a lot of sense. The books that I'm reading, I think he's right. And so I want to prepare young men, especially, for what's coming. And again, there's certain trades that AI is not going to. It's not that it's not going to touch, but it's not going to wipe them out, right? If you have that skill set that a computer can't do, you use your hand, you use your critical thinking skills, and you have a trade, AI is not going to wipe that job out. And so I think maybe this dual pathway into entrepreneurship, where you're going to have to start out if you don't know a trade. You could just buy a pickup truck, buy a trailer, boom, right there. You can start hauling stuff. You can start making money right now. But if you don't have the skill set, then you're going to have to learn the skill set. And the easiest way to learn a skill set is go work for $15, $20 an hour on a job site. And you're going to have to spend a couple years learning how to be an electrician, learning how to be a framer, learning how to do these things. But you're there, you're thinking of this as college, right? I'm not just there to bring a paycheck home. I'm here to learn the trade, and I'm going to take that guy's job. Or I know I'm going to be here 3-4 years, or however long it takes me to learn it. But as soon as I learn it, I'm going to take the journeyman test. I'm going to take the contractor's test. I'm going to go past that test as fast as I can, and I'm going to start my own business, right? And then you're going to lean into it. You're going to get the best people around you that you possibly can, and you're going to employ AI to do things that that really sucked 20 years ago. All the estimating, all the measuring. I know my buddy who started a roofing company here in the Quad Cities, he uses AI for all that. He doesn't even go to homes to measure roofs. He gets satellite images of the roof. He's got a program, and it just takes a picture of your roof, and it does the whole estimate, and he puts it on his letterhead, emails it over. That's it. It takes him like 2 minutes to do an estimate. That's the kind of technology that's available, and it's going to be even more so in the future for tradesmen that you could implement to multiply your effectiveness. So, man, I hope this encouraged you. If you got any questions, you can throw it down in the comments below. Guys, like, share this video as much as possible. Really wanting to increase the people that we can help. I'm just a normal dude who has built a church and has built some businesses and built a family. And I want to see my son succeed in this coming generation. And I want to see these Generation Z men, I want to see them step up and succeed. I don't want them to get so discouraged and take the black pill and just sit at home and play video games because the whole system's rigged against them. It's true. The system is rigged against you, and baby boomers have screwed a bunch of stuff up, and it's not a great economy. And there's a lot of things that are difficult, more difficult than when I was coming up, I think. But if you know how to adapt, if you know how to think critically, if you know how to get the right people in the room, if you got a skill that's marketable, or you're going to lean in and learn a skill that's marketable, you can still make a lot of money. You can still find the girl. You can still get married, have kids, buy the house, serve a church, put down roots, and make an impact and create a lasting legacy for generations to come. So that's what I hope for you guys. Hopefully this video was a blessing. You can watch the whole video on the Sean Ryan Show on YouTube, and Rob Luna was the guy who was interviewing. So thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you next week.